The two skills we chose to do were a chasse and a cartwheel, connected by one step in between. Our criteria for the chasse was straight arms as well as opposite arm to leg during the chasse, straight legs and pointed toes, hips facing forward at all times, not moving to the side, and legs and feet connecting at the height of the chasse. A chasse is regarded to as a locomotive dominant movement pattern, as it combines a leap, step, and a gallop to swiftly move forward, aiding in the development of a locomotive movement. The criteria for our cartwheel was straight legs and pointed toes, correct starting position, which is a rocket position, and a long lunge into the cartwheel, hips and legs going straight over the top of arms, and an even weight transfer and rhythm throughout the cartwheel. The cartwheel is the dominant movement pattern of rotations, as it consists of a sideways rotation of the body with the performer's legs travelling over the trunk of their body. The cartwheel also assists in developing the fundamental motor skill of stability, as it involves notions such as balancing, twisting, and coordination. Using our performance criteria for the chasse, it was seen that performer number 1 completed each part of our criteria: straight arms and opposite arm to legs, straight legs, pointed toes, hips facing forward, and legs and feet connecting a height of chasse. This was a total of 4 out of 4 marks. Performer number 2 completed straight arms and opposite arm to legs, slightly hips facing forward and slightly feet connecting at the height of chasse, but not straightening legs and pointing toes. This was a total of 2 out of 4 on the criteria. Using our criteria for the cartwheel, it was seen that performer 1 completed each part of the criteria: straight legs and pointed toes, correct starting position and long lunge, hips straight over the top of arms, and an even weight transfer. Performer number 2 did not complete straight legs and pointed toes, but did in fact complete the correct starting position and long lunge, as well as slightly having an even weight transfer. This gained a total of 1.5 out of 4 on the evaluation. The first drill we used for the cartwheel was bunny hops over a beam or a box. This aims to improve the cartwheel by gaining the feeling of the body being over or on top of the hands and trying to kick the hips up as high as possible. To set this drill up, there needs to be a long box or beam around 50 centimeters high on which the gymnast can continually bunny hop all the way along. The second drill we used for the cartwheel was a kick up to a cartwheel against the mat, holding the upside down position. This aims to improve starting position, long lunge, hip placement over hands, and straight arms and legs, as well as the general feeling of being on top of hands. For a teacher to organise this drill, a wedge must be placed against a wall. If a student does not feel comfortable, the teacher may have to spot the drill and hold the student in their upside down handstand. Our final drill for a cartwheel is a cartwheel breakdown station with dots. This helps to provide a visual guide and helps to improve transfer of weight and the rhythm of foot, hand, hand, foot in the cartwheel. To set up this drill, place 4 or 5 dots where each foot or hand placement should be. This will also help to lengthen the student's cartwheel, enabling it to be more stable and balanced, and so they do not fall over. Our fourth drill was a chasse breakdown. We first started with just using the feet and stepping in the chasse motion. We then progressed further to a full chasse except without the arms. After mastering this, the student can do a full chasse along the floor using arms and legs. Using smaller progressions will enable the learner to master the most basic parts of the skill before moving on. As always, safety is a large priority within the classroom. Gymnasts need to have a good distance between one another, and as a teacher, if a gymnast isn't visibly not comfortable doing a skill, they do not need to be made to do it. Along with this, if a gymnast needs help or spotting with a skill, then a teacher needs to be adequately qualified to be able to spot them correctly and help them. All of the drills we used enabled the learner to learn the most basic parts of a skill before moving on. These are the fundamental skills, and without these, it's very hard for a learner to complete a whole gymnastics movement. After a few weeks of doing the drills, we filmed our final skill videos. Due to the use of drills, we saw many improvements within our performance criteria. Along with this, we gained the sense of feeling of accomplishment when gaining a new skill or finally figuring out how to do it. Gymnastics assists in enhancing fundamental movement skills of stability and locomotive movements, in addition to increasing body control skills, general body coordination, flexibility, balance, spatial awareness, core strength, muscular strength, body control, and provides a foundation for many sports and complex movement skills. Incorporating a gymnastics curriculum within schools allows students to explore different means and ways of being physically active. Numerous studies show that students that do not usually enjoy PE classes often enjoy activities such as gymnastics. Thus, by incorporating this into the curriculum, it exposes students to physical activity that is different from typical sports and activities that predominantly revolve around fundamental motor skills of object control. This would include skills such as throwing and catching, and these might not appeal to some students as much. Hence, gymnastics allows for developing movement competence amongst students as well as allowing students who may not necessarily enjoy traditional PE to engage in something that they enjoy and find fun. Gymnastics Australia has stated that in addition to promoting physical development through acquiring stability and locomotive skills, it also assists in laying the foundation for a variety of sports. Thus, by incorporating gymnastics into the school curriculum, this will increase the likelihood of students participating in more physical activity due to being able to perform these skills, therefore having a positive impact on health. For example, the stability skills learnt in gymnastics, such as spatial awareness and balance, can be used for a variety of sports such as landings to prevent injuries and awareness of opponents. Stability skills developed via gymnastics form the foundation of object control and locomotive movement. Studies highlight the positive physical and psychological benefits that are achieved through gymnastics, allowing for an increased spiral of engagement in physical activity amongst pupils.